You don't need this money.
And you don't need 2 cars.
I want to make you an offer. One condition to the offer is that I want at least 2 other lions to follow me in.
I'm equally happy to take a half share.
Yeah, I will join in.
So I would also like to make you an offer.
I would like to join the other lion.
Guys, yet again, a passion-based business meets a purpose-based business. It was another hot drama in the den. We're going to be talking about the last 2 entrepreneurs who came into the den episode. Welcome back to my channel, guys. My name is Judy Chigo. Welcome to the last and final review of the Lion's Den episode 11, and we're talking about the last 2 entrepreneurs who came into the den. If you haven't seen the part 1 video, you probably want to check out that video right now so that you be in tune with the conversation and you probably understand where we're headed. Guys, for every of this episode I do 2 parts videos just to make sure that it doesn't get very lengthy. So this last episode I'm talking about is just for the 2 last entrepreneurs that came into the den. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing by clicking on the subscribe button right now, and do not forget to hit on notification bell so that you always get alerts of my video every time I share new content in this channel. Guys, with that said, let's dive into the conversations that went down in the den. So we saw 2 entrepreneurs come in, but the very first person, the 3rd entrepreneur who came into the den, is this young man who was actually asking for an investment in his poultry business. He has a bird business, he grooms, he rears birds, and he was asking for 15,850,000 naira. He was very, very precise about the amount he wanted for his business, and it was one of the first things that I noticed about him. You guys know that after every single pitch, the lions will come in with their questions. Sometimes to throw people out of balance, sometimes to understand more about the business, sometimes it's just to get grounded, to know if these guys really need this money for their investment. And guys, it was another hilarious episode as we watched the lions dig into this entrepreneur as he was asking for a whooping 15,850,000. I mean, it was really iconic. The amount was really iconic. And one of the people who actually, so his business offer was quite very straightforward. He said he rears birds, but this time he's trying to do something unique for his customers, and what he wants to do in his business is to be able to share that it's been a problem. I don't know if it's an ancestral problem, I don't know if it's a lineage problem, I don't know if it's a historic problem, but he said, according to him, that the people of that community actually cannot afford to buy full chicken, so they want to divide the chickens so that they can buy. So it's more like you want just the legs, we'll cut the legs and give to you. You want just the tummy, we'll cut the tummy and give to you. So he's trying to partition the chickens to being sold. For me, I just think he's just trying to eliminate the middlemen. He's trying to grow these birds and sell them directly to the customers, maybe to get more profits, maybe for a higher profit margin. I don't know, but that's just what I see in this business. Because after his speech, Bolaji was the first person who said, you know what, I don't even understand. Like, make me understand. Is this really a poultry business? What kind of business is this you're trying to do? And he explained once more that he's trying to, make it easy for people to access chicken, access these birds, access these poultry products at a very affordable rate, and basically the customers are the ones that is concerned. Guys, let me even chip this in. I know this has nothing to do with this review, but I think anybody who does this as a particular thing, I mean, it is very, very important that we actually attend to our customers' needs and wants. But you know what? There's some customer needs and wants that will put you in trouble, big time trouble. It's just like when I look at my review channel, there are so many things people want me to talk about. People want me to just keep talking about positive things. When I see things that I'm not okay with, I'm going to talk about it, that I don't care if people want to hear it or not. This is why it's a review. You should be able to share your thoughts and ideas. And so basically, I feel if you're that kind of person who always listens to customers are not always times they can mislead you into making a wrong decision about your business. I just thought I needed to share that. I hope nobody takes it in a bad note. It's just for us to understand better how to position our business. That's basically why I talked about it. So because it didn't make sense to me why somebody who's rearing bird should be sharing, should be looking for freezers, because the question was, okay, this money you're asking for, what are you going to use the money for? And he said that 7,600,000 naira was going to be used for producing more beds, you know, and all that. And then the rest money, 8.2 million naira, was going to be used to buy refrigerators, was going to be used to buy cars, was 2 cars, was going to be used to lease a land, you know, grinders. Like, seriously, guys, I was just angry. You know, whenever these lions talk about people be multitasking, I understand that completely from what this guy was pitching. Because if it's just rearing, I mean, that he has concentrated on, I don't think he would have been able to come up to ask for such a very high amount of money. 15 million looked like outrageous for just a bread business. I don't know, it's just my sentiments, and I feel that's the same thing this lions felt when he was talking. And for some reason, I feel some of these entrepreneurs don't even understand the assignment, because whatever money you're coming to ask for, you're going to pay that money back 100 folds over. So I don't know if people kind of misunderstand the concept behind the lions den, behind these investors coming in to bring in their money. I don't know if people just feel like, okay, it looks like it's free money, so let me come and take it and call the amount I want and then run off. You're going to pay back. So I don't know if this guy is starting up a business and he's talking about buying 2 cars. It really doesn't make sense. It's so ridiculous. Like in Mrs. Adenike's voice, I'm going to say, you don't need 2 million naira to rent a shop. You know, Mrs. Adenike, I will tell you, she is that one that will tell you the way it is. She said you don't need 2 million naira to rent a shop. I mean, this guy was not asking for a shop, he was asking for to lease a land. And the fortunate part about the whole story is that he actually has a place where he's actually doing this. I just feel like when I call it scammy pitch, doesn't come from my head, let me not even say it. But it was just too much. It was too much. Valuations were very poor. Lack of structure in his business was really very, very glaring to all the lions. So basically, you know, everybody came for his head because they were like, you're asking for too much money, you don't need this money. Mrs. Adenike was the first person who left out his business, followed by Paul. Paul was like, I don't understand, I don't think you need this money, I'm out too, like Mrs. Adenike. Bolaji was like, you know what, I'm out. You know, everybody literally left his business because he was just blabbing at the end of the day. You know, Kiari even asked him questions about his evaluation. Like when he came pitched, he was asking for money. He didn't even know that he was supposed to be offering investors something back into their businesses for investing in his business. Because Kiari was like, what are you offering us? And then he had to say 35-40%. Like he wasn't even sure what he was trying to give to this line. So his business clearly lacked structure. He was just coming there to pitch because he knows that there's an opportunity to pitch, ask for money, which I feel is very wrong for any entrepreneur to even consider doing. One of the very, very interesting questions Kiari asked was, so how many birds, because I think Bolaji had asked the question of how many birds did you have you lost, because we know this business you always lose birds, and he said that he had read 1-day-old chickens and that they had only lost 1 out after 2 weeks. And I was like, now wow, this guy must be a genius, you know, when he said that. And so he said he already had, I think, 1,000 birds, and of course the calculation is each bird sells for 3,000 naira. Kiari, now you guys know he will not disappoint with calculations. He was like, okay, each bird is 1,000, you have 1,000 birds, so when we multiply 1,000 by 3,000 naira, supposed to get 3 million naira. I think he said he had made 1 million naira or so, and the Kiara was like 1.2 million. He said he had made 1.2 million. Kiara was like, where did the remaining 1.8 million naira go to? Because if you make 3 million, I mean, we should have more money. And then he was like, that unfortunately they lost some birds, so it was conflicting. He said he had lost just 1 bird, and suddenly he's losing a lot of birds up to 1.8 million naira. Like I was like, the guy, you have lost it already. And you know, that was when he now started he started blabbing. He said unfortunately he was ill. Mr. Paul had to take over, and because during that time, because he was not a genius that knew how to take care of the chickens, things happened, they lost money, and basically that was how he lost out from any investor investing in his business. His business was really brash. I don't think there was anything structured about what he was asking for. I don't think he needed the money. I just felt like he just came into the den because there was an opportunity to pitch. Yes, he was really driven himself, failing forward. I pray he gets the money he wants. You know, sometimes some of these entrepreneurs actually need the money, but maybe because they don't know how to present themselves, how to comport themselves, talk. Like I just noticed he had a lot of diction problem, how he was talking, pronouncing. Maybe he was kind of scared. It's not easy to stand in front of investors and ask for money anyway. It's totally understandable. And basically one of the reasons why I think investors should be watching this program reality show is to also see opportunities and see, okay, I can come into this business and help it. You know, these lions are not even patient enough to go you through all that stress. But if you're a small investor, maybe you can reach out to some of these lions. I'm not saying you should, but I'm just saying this is an opportunity to see some kind of people like this and probably render the help that they need. Anyways, that was that for this young man. And the next person we saw was another man from Kano State, and I'll tell you, this guy came in a purpose-driven pack. Like, he traveled all the way from Kano, and he was ready to sweep the lions off their feet. He came in with his 3 products, and they were all semi-organic products, and he was asking for just 8 million naira for a 35% equity share in his business. Guys, I was like, this dude knows what he's doing. So he was asked quite some interesting question. One of the very interesting questions that I think Paul asked was, tell me about your structure. He was like, you know what, this business, I've reserved the name, but I've not registered it. I was like, so it simply means that if you have a business that's not even yet registered, you can come and pitch in the den and something might happen. You guys know that the season 2 is out. If you have not seen the video on how to participate, please go check it out and maybe, you know, be a part of it, because I want to see more businesses and I want to review your business in my channel. Yes, I said so. Anyway, this guy was pitching, and he said he needed just 8 million naira to increase his production of the semi-organic product, and they asked him for a structure of business. He said he had not registered, but he was lying, and that he owned 100% of his business. Mr. Paul is always big about, because he knows what he wants when he's looking at these businesses. Anyways, at the end of the day, Kiari asked questions. How did you do these things? How did you, you know, like, he gave explanations. They asked him for his background. He said he was a chemical student, and he said he had a friend who was working in an institute, in a research institute, on chemical stuffs, and, you know, he had done consultation. So clearly this guy knew what he was actually doing. Mr. Paul, you know him, Mr. Dan rather, you know him, he will come with this serious criticism. So he was like, is there a certification for your kind of business? At the end of the day, he said no, that there was no certification available. I know Mr. Dan felt a little like taken aback, like, how can this be happening? So I think this is what Nigerians should look at. The Nigerian government, I guess, should look at it and say, okay, we need to have a registration board, we need to have a procedure for something like this, because we clearly now know that there's no certification for people to come into this chemical industry and give us something. I mean, food is involved and we need to be healthy. Anyways, this guy pitched. All the lions loved his pitch. He knew what he wanted. Bolaji was busy praising him. Like, when you see a man that knows what he's doing, he will tell you. Because Bolaji asked for the price difference between the chemical products and the organic product. He said 7,500, and it was like, clearly this guy understands his business and he knows what he's doing and he knows how to make money, because he actually said within 2 months he had made about 650,000 after starting the business with 300,000 from angel investors, and within 2 months he made like ×2 of the money. So it was clear that he was running a profitable business. At the end of the day, people the lions started dropping offers. Hey, the offers were coming front, back, left and center. I don't know, for some reason this period it looks like Mr. Paul Walibe just woke up and like, you know what, I need to invest. I have free money, I must make sure that I invest. I must not waste some of this entrepreneur's opportunity anymore. And so he was the person who pitched. So Paul's offer was quite straightforward. He said, I'm going to give you all the money you want. We're going to be asking for 35 exactly, because he said he was asking for 8 million, 35%. Paul was like, we're going to go with the 35%. You're going to pay us back the money within 24 months, but on the condition that 2 lions are going to join. But Laji was like, you know what, I would have made it by myself, but I'm willing to join you. And he was willing to join. Kiari was also said the same thing. I'm willing to join. Kiari joined, but Kiari made some adjustment. Kiari was like, I'm not going to go for 35%, I'm going to go for 40%. I love Kiari's shrewd way of, you know, negotiation. And Mrs. Adenike, I mean, and Mrs. Adenike was in for Kiari's offer. And guys, self-acclaimed constructive, the best constructive critic in the den, Mr. Dan, also hopped in on this. I mean, there was clearly nothing to say we're not going to invest in. Guys, this is the second time something like this is happening in the den. All 5 lions invested in just this one business. It he was asking for 8 million naira. He got all 5 lions on their knees, ready to invest in his business. So guys, I don't know, but there's something about these northerners. They are just traveling all the way from Kano State and coming to Lagos to collect all the money in the den. I was really happy for this guy because he had a legit business. He was solving a legit problem. You know, even when Dan asked him, why are you not doing this organic? He was like, these farmers need fast results, so that's why it's semi, and you know, after that then maybe they do more pure organic. So he really knew the problem. He was solving a problem. All 5 lions were on their knees and they joined. So the offer was, we're going to give you all the money you want. So instead of 35%, which he had asked, he were asking for 40%. And they said after he had paid back the money, that is the whole 8 million back, that they are going to drop down the equity to 20%. He didn't even think twice before saying yes to the 5 lions. And guys, I will not even lie, I was really impressed. I was like, bravo, bravo, you did well, you did well. I mean, this is the second time we're seeing another northerner travel all the way to pitch a business and getting it. I mean, remember the Sands Water guy? This lions even prayed for him. It looks like the northerners know how to structure a business. It looks like they know how to understand their numbers. It looks like they understand they have to solve a serious need. I don't know, but I think we should be learning from these malams that have been coming into the den. They are doing very, very well, and I'm so proud of them. That's basically everything that happened in the lion's den. Guys, I hope you are understanding this video. I hope I'm doing justice to it. Let me know your thoughts. Share them in the comment section. Let me know which of the lions do you feel would have gotten an investment. I personally feel Damilola would have gotten an investment. I felt like her business was so cool. Like, I was mad she didn't get an investment. I will not even lie. I really wish it had, because it would have done a lot of good for her. Guys, I'm going to see you all in another video. For now, that was all that went down in the lion's den. Catch you up on another episode of Personality Highlights.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
He journeys back to Kano State